What up, buddy?
The order is to take this route.
Understood.
The order is to take this route.
Understood.
The order is to take this route.
Understood.
I will play. Oh, stop! The order is to take this route.
Understood.
The order is to take this route.
Understood. Good visibility. Target identified.
Soldiers, follow me.
Good visibility. Target identified.
Soldiers, follow me.
Good visibility. Target identified.
Soldiers, follow me.
Understood. Don't rush me.
Just cooked it. Nice.
The order is to take this route.
Understood.
The order is to take this route.
Understood.
The order is to take this route.
Understood. Good visibility. Target identified.
Soldiers, follow me.
Don't rush me.
The order is to take this route.
Understood. Good visibility. Target identified.
Soldiers, follow me.
Good visibility. Target identified.
Soldiers, follow me.
God.
Target identified. Target identified.
Follow me.
Target identified.
Follow me.
Target identified.
Take this route.
Fighting pretty much over. Yeah, sorry.
Target identified.
Already heard that from a few people already, though.
Target identified.
Some people have already had like fighting for a long period all week. This G bracket has been weird. I don't know how we added so much power and then ended up like dropping brackets as well. We've been in G6 for how many months in a row? We had like 2 bill in power to our fighting, and all of a sudden we dropped to G7. We got kicked out of Apex like last minute too, which sucked, but I didn't notice because I was working. Otherwise, it would add more people to our roster, so we could ended up in like G4, G5. But I was working, and I saw us in the top 100, so I didn't say anything much of it. Logged back in, and we were out of the top 100. But yeah, I don't know how the hell we got that. Sick.
Don't rush me. Don't rush me. Good visibility. Target identified.
Soldiers, follow me.
Can you keep up?
The order is to take this route.
Understood.
The order is to take this route.
Understood. Target identified.
What G bracket are you in though?
Good visibility. Target identified.
Soldiers, follow me.
Where'd the tower go? Oh, there it is. important, like way back. Oh yeah, they are.
Good visibility.
It's
Target
7:30
identified.
right now.
Soldiers, follow me.
Looking G8. I can do
Good
that.
visibility. Target identified.
Soldiers, follow me.
Tissue spot's kind of weird. Are they double rallying though? Oh, this tower's on fire. OXO. A lot of my players have come from OXO. ABZ came from OXO. Coronet. Quite a few of my players actually. The recruits from OXO. R3R, it's a good team. He's a great leader. These guys gonna build a tower, or what are they doing? Let's go here and try maybe. Let's go take a peep at this one. That's where all the action is, I think. Oh shit, red got cut. Means SSI focuses on H and B now down here. H and B are okay. Down here probably? Yeah. Yeah, I think everyone's feedback is kind of the same thing on the Discord, that the old Z-Virus missions were a lot better than the, whatever the new one is. That's for sure. Hey, what up, Jay? How you doing? What's up, Ward? How you doing? This AR has been pretty half-assed. It kind of sucks, like I said. I wish that, really wish that we would have gotten like G4, G5, or at the very, very least G6, but G7 has been really, really boring. That's why I haven't streamed. A lot of people are like, oh, why aren't you streaming? Why aren't you streaming? There's not. There's nothing to stream. It's been really, really, really boring.
Liftoff of mission 41D, the first flight of the Orbit Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower. Discovery, go and throttle up. Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Stella is ready.
Eh, maybe it's a good thing it's a break. We're going to be full merging into H&B next 3 events. For the next set. Island Raid, Archipelago, and Genesis War, so maybe it's a good thing we took a break this one. Yeah, baby. Yeah, 1 second. What's up? Oh yeah, no, we're not gonna stay in Apex, but we're family with H&B, so we'll join them. Safari. Oh yeah, that's kind of cool. That's cool, babe. I bet. Okay, we'll go keep playing. Close the door then, okay? I'll be out there in a little bit. Blue pushed green all the way back, gold pushed. Gold is pushing red, that's kind of it. Yeah, G6 looks like it's done. G5 was a lot of back and forth in Tower Wars up here in the northwest. It looks like they were still fighting again. Now it looks like they're fighting yet again. This is where we wanted to be. there for ever since the start of Archipelago raid. Ever since that came out, we never left G1 through 4. I think the very first Archipelago raid that came out, we were in G4 and then stayed G1 to G4 for the next year or so. It's only been within the last few months that we've gone out of, ever since they brought out the new brackets, that we left that and managed to just go down and do Elite and stay in G6. So it's nothing new. Like, that's how we know everybody there. We've already fought against all of them. That's how we became close with H&B. We've been fighting H&B for 2 years now, like in events and stuff. So we've fought the likes of Boone and H&B, DHX, SSI. We've done all of them. We fought all of them already. It's fun. It's just it's very taxing. It's also a big time commitment. I'm not gonna have the availability to be on the whole time that everyone's fighting, but at least there'll be more fighting. I'm done fighting SSI, they're in another league. Yeah. That they are, buddy. They have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 players above 500 mil alone. 400 million of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 11 players over 400 mil. Like, it's ridiculous, man. Almost 12. That's crazy.
Now have primary control of critical vehicles.
They are their own legion, pretty much. Oh, RK's pretty up there as well. Out there? Armor's on there, I think, isn't she? Okay, go check. This is the guy that scored an insane amount of points.
Oh, here, I can fix that. It's because I turned around to talk to the little one and I bumped the volume thing on my mic. You should be able to hear me better now. My fault. Yeah, I turned around to look at the little one. She was talking to me in the doorway and I bumped my volume. My little freaking volume knob on my mic is super sensitive. If I like rub my elbow on it, it'll just twist the other way. Turns it like way down. That's so crazy to me. Okay. It's crazy to me that the heroes that they've brought out has been Chasey for riders, which is the best Garrison for riders, and then the best rally into Chasey is Chasey. Now the best ranged Garrison is Ethan, and the best rally into Ethan is Ethan. That's bewildering. It makes sense since they all have their transcended weapons or whatever, but still. Still. Yeah, no, Stella is better into Chasey, yes. I just mean that, like, rider-wise. If you're going to send a rider into Chasey, Chasey is the best into Chasey. If you're going to send a ranged into Ethan, you send Ethan. That's what I'm getting at. Like, in terms of, like, hero, like, troop, the same troop versus the same troop is, like, the counter to that hero is the same hero, basically. But yes, Stella versus Chasey works extremely well. Stella Marco versus Chasey works the best. I've done all of them. Stella Jin, Stella Eddie, Stella Adut, Stella Miyamoto, Stella Bodala. Stella Bodala works really well if you're planning on eating counter rallies and you're simply just staying up with your rally because you want to maintain a long counter rally because you have really good second and third rallies like in an AR. You can run a Bodala and you can tank really well. But if you actually like want to deal a shit ton of damage to the Garrison, Stella Marco is the best one. So from my understanding, the reason why Azure hasn't fought is because initially Azure wanted to ally us, right? Of course, every Legion in G6 or G7 wanted to ally us. And Jade wanted to ally us, and I told them, no, we're not going to ally you guys because you guys are the second strongest. You guys are the other strongest Legion in this AR. It doesn't make sense for the two strongest Legions to ally. But we also didn't want to discourage them from not fighting because we have Hansz and NomNom and Poppy and stuff. So I said, okay, if we're not going to ally you, in order to encourage you to fight, we'll let you have first pick on your ally, whether it be Crimson or Azure. And they picked Azure. And when they did that, that meant that obviously we weren't with Azure. and Azure was upset about that they didn't get us as an ally, and ever since then has just chosen not to fight. Marco's really good because infantry, or not infantry, but riders actually have a really high base HP. If you look at all the different troop types, which you can see here in the training. So infantry has a base HP of 247. Ranged has 222, which is 10% less. But then riders are up at 236, so they have like really high, like they have higher HP than ranged, almost as high as infantry. So by using Marco, you can cut their HP in half almost, and they have lower defense than infantry, obviously. And so by cutting their HP and being able to kill them faster, yeah, you can kill off chasey, or you can kill off rider troops in tower much quicker. Yeah, I rally with Stella Marco and everything now. It's crazy how well it does. Yeah, here I can show you the tests actually. I think I kept the reports. We tested it in a Genesis War. I think it was this one. Yeah, so we tested Stella Eddie, then Stella Bodala. And this one traded fairly even, but again, I like to use this one regardless, just in tank rallies because of the shield. It just you can survive so much skill damage with this. Stella Jin traded even, or a bit more in your favor, and then Stella Marco, it ended up trading like 1 to 1.5, and I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. So I tried it again, and then it was even better. And then ever since then, I've just been using it. And let me see, hold on. Yeah, that's what I use now under rider garrisons. There's that one. There's another rider garrison. I mean, you can see these aren't weak players by any means. TPL. This is Caesar's garrison. This is the wrong armaments, or this is the wrong person initially. If you look at the troops, it's actually Caesar, and Caesar is like the 350 mil player or whatever in a TPL. So it did really well against infantry also. D167, that was the weaker one. This one we couldn't support it. Oh wait, this was what was, oh, this was a base. This was a base. That's what this was. This was in the tower. This was 12 mil troops. Yeah, 2 mil rally versus 12 mil troops. And that was a Bodala one. We were tanking that one though. That was a double rally. This one had a really good rider set as well. This one was hard to keep up also. I think this was deeper in their territory from Island Raid. But anyways, yeah. Yeah, Stella Marco is really, really good. Yeah, no, of course, man. Like, we wanted to, I mean, we had Hansz and stuff, right? Like, we did not have a goal of going to G7. We've been in G6 for the last 4 months straight, right? Like, we've been fighting TPL every single event for the last 2 or 3 ARs in a row. And when you look over here, like, even with NomNom, Hansz, and Poppy and Rocks, and like all the new additions, like even with adding 2 bill power to our roster, right? Even with adding 685 mil, 410 mil, 368 mil players to our roster, if you come over here, we're at 14.8 bill on our power, or on our combat rating. And if you go to G6 and look at TPL, who we've been fighting for the last 2 ARs, they're at 15.2. So they're actually like 500 mil stronger than us. And so we were looking forward to either like fighting them in Elite after we got kicked out of Apex. When we dropped out, when we realized that, we're like, oh well, at least, you know, we'll be in G6 and TPO will probably be there. It'll be a good fight. And then we somehow got G7. So it was like, okay, well, everyone's just going to be discouraged to fight. So whatever we need to do to make it to where, you know, people are at least semi-encouraged to fight, like, let's do it. And it just hasn't been the case. G5 and 3. Oh shit, 5 and 3. Oh, flags 5 and 3 already gone. Okay. Eddie's all right, but the thing is that like Eddie just doesn't have enough damage output. Like everyone thinks that you're gonna do really well with Eddie because he has like high counter damage, but like you have to think about it. Like skill damage does 10 to 12 times the amount of damage that skilled or that basic counter damage does. So his counter damage really doesn't do much, and then he's only reducing HP by like 20%. So Marco's already over double that, and so really like the best thing that you get out of Eddie is some defensive stats. The HP boost and the defense boost. But again, like you're trading some survivability for the fact that like you can kill them much faster with Marco. So I would say like if you don't have like that great of armaments, or maybe like you're on the weaker side of things with armaments and stuff, and you need the better like defensive stats, then maybe Eddie could work better for you. But I still think that with Marco, like the trades that you would get on that outperform the defensive savings that you would have basically by going Eddie. The next Garrison infantry hero will be good for rallying too. Hard to say, but I mean, if the pattern stays the same, yeah. I mean, dude, like I'm garrisoning with a rally hero. Like that's how desperate we are in infantry right now. My main garrison hero is an infantry hero. That's how far we've fallen. All right, I want to watch fights. This is G7 has been a snooze fest since day one, man. Then just go Eddie. I mean, you still have to win TC though. Eddie's a TC hero, right? Yeah, because Robert's the roulette one. And if you don't have that, then grab Jin. If you can't do that, then grab Miyamoto. Miyamoto's in the roulette, right? Grab Miyamoto. Adut's always pretty solid. I mean, every like infantry hero is pretty solid in terms of like a secondary for rallies, except for like Tom, Thunder. Like, stay away from the garrison-y or the garrisoned toned ones. Like I mean, honestly, like it's kind of a toss-up too. Even like if you're gonna go more survivability, I would just skip Eddie and just go Bodala for one. You don't have to try to win TC to get fragments. You can get it from hero roulette. It's gonna be much cheaper, much easier to get the fragments. And then two, it's just much more survivability. And then because he also has a skill tree, you have a better lead for field. And then yeah, you can flex Bodala the same way you can flex Eddie with in rallies and in field. But then Bodala also does really well on single target garrison for like towers and stuff, where Eddie doesn't do great. So I think you have more flexibility and option with Bodala than Eddie at this point, and he's cheaper to obtain. So to me, I'd just go Bodala at that point. Yeah, Eddie still does well, but unless you're someone that's rocking like, I don't know, at least 3 infantry marches, like there's no real point. And even then, like you have so many. I feel like every roulette hero that infantry had, with the exception of Robert, has been great. Like Adut has been great, Miyamoto has been great. Yeah, I mean, so that's 2. Bodala's been great. That's 3. Don't ever use Stella in the field. And then behind them you have like Bianca, you have Marco, you have yeah, you could put Eddie, that kind of thing. Bodala Riven does well in single target Garrison. Thunder Riven does great. Robert is fine. Robert isn't great in a sense that there are better options. It's not that he's not good, it's just that there are better alternatives. There's nothing about Robert that shines in his kit, but Bodala, for example, has an extremely large shield that's 30% stronger than Regoro's, and he has a skill talent tree. Eddie reduces HP every single time his shield breaks. Miyamoto has an AoE rage skill. Adut reduces the skill damage of all heroes around her for all 5 of your marches, and gives really good stats and moves quick. You know, you have so many, like, all these other heroes have something in their kit that makes them shine. Like Robert doesn't really have anything where it's like, oh, this is unique, this is great. He's just a solid infantry field hero, so he wouldn't be like your first chase hero basically. But Bodala Riven works well on Garrison if you have decent armaments and stuff. You are losing the Garrison talent tree, so you will suffer. But some of what you suffer you make up for in rage regen, not all of it. And it only really works in single target Garrison. Thunder Riven, however, works extremely well in both single target and multi-rally Garrison. She's good if she's being mobbed, but that's strictly it. She has to be mobbed. So if I'm out in the field and I'm using Stella, my skill stops right there at that period. The second half of the skill is useless in the field. If I am in the field with this, my skill stops right here at the first sentence. Everything after the first sentence I have to be attacked in order to use. The third one, if the skill is transcended, my skill stops at this first sentence. If my skill is not transcended, I can't use this at all. But if it is transcended, I stop at the first sentence. The second half of my skill I can't use because it needs to be in a rally. The fourth skill, she doesn't stack war will stacks unless she's dealing counter damage. So unless I'm being attacked, this skill isn't even happening at all. So again, it depends on somebody hitting me. And then this one here as well increases counter damage. And then when war will stacks have cleared, which again requires her to be attacked. So all of this requires her to be attacked. And the latter half if rallying. So my point being, if you're in the field, yes, if you're getting mobbed, you can deal damage. But if I'm in a murder ball, or if I'm out targeting players just on my own, whatever it may be, I don't want my damage from my march to be limited, or my capability of my damage in my march to be limited to a factor that I'm not in control of. I want my damage to be consistent. I want to know that every time I click on a march, I'm dealing as much damage as possible every time I'm in the field. Not that I'm out in the field for 10 minutes with this march and my march wasn't effective until the last 45 seconds of that 10 minutes I was out there when it was getting swarmed, if that makes sense. That means that for the full 9 minutes and 15 seconds prior to that, all Stella was doing was using this first rage skill and getting 42% bonus attack. That's it. You're not stacking war will stacks, you're not proccing final performance, none of that stuff. Not until the last 45 seconds of 10 minutes out in the field. That's kind of useless, in my opinion. That's like extremely inefficient if you look at terms of like efficiency of a hero. Like, it's not to say that your march isn't going to get mobbed. Your march is going to get targeted at one point or another. It's just that, simply put, unless I'm targeted, I'm not going to have use of 3/4 of my kit. Is terribly inefficient, as opposed to having 10 heroes where their whole kit is being used the full 10 minutes you're out in the field. Like, you would stack so many more kills in your favor and score so many more points if you were scoring the max amount of points you could for 10 minutes straight, instead of scoring 25% the amount of points you were with one march, and then 100% of the points you could with that march during the last 10% of that time that you were in the field with that march, is what I'm getting at. Like, I would rather have a march that operates and gets me, 60,000 kills a minute for 10 minutes straight, than a march that gets me 300,000 kills in 1 minute. But it depends on that march getting swarmed, and because it's getting swarmed, it's going to die fast, and it survives less than a minute. So I might score 300,000 points in a minute off of that march, or I could have been scoring 60, 70, 80, 90,000 points per minute on another march that's not getting targeted and staying healthy for the last 10 or 15 minutes. The next hero, infantry garrison hero, is one that only increases healing. Would it be viable to obtain? I think any hero that they bring out right now is going to be viable to obtain. If you just go off of like the pattern of like the types of heroes that they're releasing and stuff, there's no reason to assume that the next hero that they bring out isn't going to be viable for any reason at all. Healing or not, it doesn't really matter. Healing is just like, it's not the best skill in the world. In fact, it's one of the most useless ones. But I mean, that's just going to be a small part of its kit, right? Like Thunder, for example, he heals. Like, that's a big part of his kit, is he heals. But he also has a huge debuff. He also has a huge damage buff on his Awakened. He also has a huge damage reduction buff, like on 2 of his skills, and a huge stat buff. At the time, a huge stat buff would still, to this day, 30% HP is a huge stat buff. So the healing is just one small part of the kit. Is Julia or Bard the best as the main rally, since Bard's super weapon could still be used to support? I think the best rally hero right now is, rally lead hero is actually Ethan. Transcended Ethan is the best rally leader right now, with Bard as support. If you don't have Ethan, if you don't have Ethan, especially Ethan Transcended, then yeah, Julia is the best, and then Bard support. Because Ethan has the skills talent tree, for one, better than Bard at least. But then in terms of Julia is just dated at this point. She has a silence, which is decent, but she doesn't have AoE, for example, in her kit. And yeah, she gets like 40% HP, which is nice, and she has a silence, but those are kind of like the two things that she brings, and then the 20% reduction from basic attacks. But Ethan brings double AoE skills, and then he increases the damage of AoE skills as well. So he has 2 AoE skills, increases the damage of AoE skills by 18%, and then his transcended, he has his transcended weapon as well, which deals even more damage also on top of it. And if you look at Bard's skill itself is AoE, so this 18% AoE skill damage bonus actually increases Bard's skill damage by 18% as well here. So Ethan Bard is by far right now the best ranged rally. Because a big thing about range rallies, at least at the moment, or well previously prior to Ethan coming out, is that Julia Bard rallies, like yeah, you would take AoE damage from Bard, but because Bard's only dealing AoE damage to 3 targets, where's he at? Because Bard's only dealing AoE damage to 3 targets with his range skill here, it was easy to swarm him down still, and there wasn't really much that Julia could do about it. But fully awakened, this is dealing damage to 3 people, but then this is also dealing damage as well to another 3 enemies, and then this is also dealing damage to 3 enemies. So it's all still 3 enemies, but the fact is that you're doing 3 high skill damages to them, and you just absolutely melt those marches. So those marches disappear, and then you move on to the next 3. So even though you're getting swarmed, you're going through all of those marches that are hitting you like extremely fast. And then this is just an insane amount of stat bonuses. 49% attack, 43% HP is more than Julia, and then 45% defense. That's just insane. I want to go have fun here. Let's jump back in though. You okay, baby? Yeah. Aw, pickles. You're silly, dude. Well, I just we're not gonna get any rallies this fucking event. That sucks. I just fully awakened my beast, so I was excited to be able to use it, and I can't use it. That sucks. I was looking forward to that. Alright, well, let's go take a look at G1 again. It's back on fire. So you can see people rallying Ethan with Ethan. What up, man? How's it going? What up, buddy? Cody. I'm doing good, man. How about you? You get any good pulls recently? You already had 2 of them. You need to drink some water. I think I saw it. Wasn't I don't know if anyone else here knows, but wasn't what's his name? Wasn't Armored in G13? Oh yeah, there he is. go look at his stream real quick before I send this. Suite cost me 4K for 3 nights and dinner 2,000. Jesus Christ. Okay, sorry, I was watching Armored stream. Did I awaken Jack? No. I think I have like 300 fragments for him or something like that. But no, I haven't even unlocked him yet. I'm waiting until the infantry hero comes out, and then I'll unlock him and use all the fragments. Let's try to marry, looking for to double income household. I feel that. Can we get rallied, please? Like, please, like something, anything. Pay big money. How many awakens do I have? 1, 2, 3, well, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 33. Yeah, 33. 2, 4, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 31, 32, and Stella 33.
I never thought I'd perform in such an empty place, but it feels pretty good.
Well, it's... Oh, no. Elites are down
I
here.
never thought I'd
No.
perform in such an empty place.
Yeah, but I've been playing for 886 days, man. So been around for a minute. Not exactly a new account. I feel like there also used to be a lot of ways to be able to get gold hero fragments too, like early days in the game also. Like rewards and stuff in Archipelago raid and island raid and whatnot. I don't know how many people here in the stream like remember this, but like back in the day, you used to have island raid once a month and then Genesis War once a month, and they didn't feel like that was enough, and so they doubled the events to where you had 2 island raids a month and 2 Genesis War raids or Genesis War events a month. So you'd go island raid, Genesis War, island raid, Genesis War, and then you would just go back and forth like that. When they did that, they halved the event rewards, so then you weren't getting double the rewards for the month. You got the same amount of rewards in a month that you were when you were on one event per month, but they halved it down. And then what ended up happening was the community complained that the events were way too often, and so they removed the frequency of those events. They removed one of those events. Like, so they took away one of the IRs and one of the Genesis Wars. So you had one island raid and one Genesis War again, but they never doubled the rewards again after they did that. So they doubled the events. They have the rewards. People are like, hey, this is too much. I'm burning through too much resources. I'm burning through too much speed ups. I can't build my account anymore. Our alliance is dying and stuff. I'm losing too much power, this and this and that. And they said, okay, sorry about that. We took it away while we, try to figure out how to make the game better. And then they never, even though they took away the frequency of the events, they never gave us back the original reward amounts that they were giving when it was just one event per month. And so now we still have, one island raid, one Genesis War, one Archipelago raid and stuff. But at the time when it was still just one of those each per month, the rewards used to be a lot more. Dude, I'm telling you, man, like, we tried. Like, dude, I register with 4.9 bill power every single Archipelago raid, and we're in G6 without trying, right? And we play TPL every single time. I add 1.6 billion, or 1.6 billion power to my alliance, and we go down a bracket? I don't get it. I don't understand, man. Like, trust me, man. We want to be there. Honestly, like, if anything, I want to be in G5. G5 looked like it was so much fun. This event, G5, these guys tower fought like as long as you guys did right here. They fought right there for as long as you guys did from the beginning. That would have been a fun one to be in. In the point shop, is it better to get gold coating, superb fragments, or gold fragments for heroes? The nano coating, I would say, is probably your best one until you get the things that you want. So, like, I have, like, 10, 10, 10, and then I stopped getting them. So, like, if you have, where is it? Hold on. Refinement. So, this will give you training speed. This will give you, oh, wait, where is it? Research speed, you don't need that. Raid resources, don't really need that. Oh yeah, this is training speed ups and this is healing speed ups, right? The helmet is your healing speed ups. If you're in an alliance that has healing bots, you don't need the healing speed up one because you obviously have the bots and you can just pretty much batch auto heal. So I don't need that. So if anything, I'll get the training speed up one eventually. And I think I have some, yeah, I have like 12 nano coatings saved up for that I'll use like during TC. But I would say like get the nano coatings first and get the ones that you need and want, especially for like your troop specific stats. So like I wanted the infantry defense and the infantry attack, and then get the backpack one for sure to reduce your death rate and the squad travel speed. I would get the training speed up one for sure because that one's great. Those are your 4 most important ones. And then if your alliance doesn't have healing bots, then also get the healing speed up one. But once you have those 5, then from there I would switch over to getting the IE augmenter. Is probably the one that I would do, because the IE augmenter is just a gold armament that you get for free basically, and it's a great armament and device to have. And so I would just stack copies of that. So I'm at like 1.5 copies from just stacking those now. That's what I would do. I don't have any help stuff. Who's talking? Oh god, these are funny. Why don't you fight in Apex now? I've seen older videos where you guys used to be in Apex. These guys are mostly G2 below Apex. Shouldn't you be better get to Apex for better rewards? No, couple things. One, well, it's a few things. So a lot of the members that I've been playing with in my alliance, I could even just like point them out, like White, Yo Mama. This guy's name is Sith, Shadow, Wolverine, Don Leo, Wildcat, Mo, Pukey. A lot of us came from Region 23 together when we started, and I mean, we've been playing for like almost 3 years, man. Like we're like 2.5 years now. And I mean, in 2.5 years, a lot can change in your life, right? Like my kid is going to be starting kindergarten later this year. You know, when I started playing this game, she was just 2 years old. So she was, you know, like it was easy to watch her and stuff. And, you know, like time has just like flown by. I'm a lot busier with work now. And 2.5 years is a long time to be playing a game. And we just don't have the commitment or the strive or the drive to want to fight in Apex anymore. Apex was fun when they brought out garages. But then when they brought out garages and then did the thing where they took the max level, I think was like 20, and then they made it like 26. And so it just like, it kicked up the squad firepower up another 700 times 3, 2100 more firepower, 2100 more protection and stuff. Like it's so much to have to continue to dump into. Then they bring out beasts, and that's like now you have one of those for each of your marches and stuff. You have armaments for each of your marches. You know, you have survivors. Like, you have so many of these factors and things that, like, if you're a G1 to G5 whale and you're like on the top end, like Toto, Hansz, Save Me, like all these people that are typically rally leaders and stuff that are going to be rallying you, you can't survive it. You know, as myself as a Garrison leader, it's not fun to play against. It used to be fun when I used to be able to compete against that, but when someone's garage is, you know, they have 5,000 plus firepower and I'm at like 2,500, you know, the trades are insanely in their favor. I have one good beast march, they have 5. I have one good armament march, they have 5. So it gets to the point where it's not fun to do. You're swinging, you're punching up, and like for what? It's just like an ego thing at that point, and it's taxing. I was just talking to Armored about it. I think he brought it up here. H&B requires like 5 bill RSS each event. That is not an exaggeration. Every single time that we played AR or Island Raid or that kind of a thing in that bracket, you were spending minimum 3 to 4 billion resources per event without fail. And I just I don't have the means to you know, to want to keep up with that, you know. So we stay at the top of Elite, because at the top of Elite we get G6 every event. Again, I don't know why we got G7, but in G6 you have teams that are in here every event, like TPL, who if you look, like they're at 15.2 billion power for their combat rating, which even though I have Hansz and NomNom and Poppy, which is 685, 367, and 410 mil, those are players that are just temporarily here. Even though I have those monsters of accounts in our alliance, we're only at 14.8 bill combat rating. So TPL is still stronger than us by 500 mil while I have those monsters in our alliance. And we fight TPL every single AR and stuff, and have been. So G6 is no stranger to having extremely strong alliances. You know, like they have Chev, and Chev has Orok. He's extremely strong. You know, you got GSW in there. You got Prim, which is where Panda's at, and Prim has Big Daddy, who has an insanely strong march as well. Like, there's a lot of strong alliances that end up in G6 also. And so it's like, it's more realistic. You get the same whales, but instead of 80% of a roster being insane whales, you get, you know, 4 or 5 whale players in an alliance or in a legion or whatever have you. And it's much more realistic. You know, that's more our stride. And that's how we play. So yeah, it's more fun that way. You got to find like what you can enjoy, and to us that's a lot more enjoyable and realistic than trying to punch up for like for literally no reason at all. Dude, I'm just hearing that there's more and more whales in the Fearless bracket than there is Elite, and it's like not even worth going into Fearless anymore because the rewards suck. And yeah, and then there's just a shit ton of whales out there also. Like if I was to just pull up a random one like G40, guarantee you one of these alliances is gonna have someone that's like, yeah, they got like 160, 150 mil players for what? 187. It's crazy to me that they have players like this, like out this deep. 228 mil, that's what I mean. Like there he is. What is a 228 mil player doing out in the boonies? Like if you drop this far out, that's when it's like, okay. Like now you're just completely avoiding. Those guys have 200 mil players in their roster. Yeah, like it's like once you start getting like this far out, where it's just like, I don't know. Yeah, 200 mil players out in G40 is absurd to me. Yo, what's up, Andres? I believe it. Wait, Crypt is in G25? What alliance is Crypt in? Because we just fought him last AR. What alliance is Crypt in? Would it be... Oh, is it SAS? He's in SAS, isn't he? What is SAS doing out in G25? What is SAS doing in G25? They were in G6 last event. I don't think immigration's really the issue. The immigration issues don't really have anything to do with the matchmaking anymore. Not ever since they brought the brackets out. You're in G5? You're lucky, dude. I've been watching G5 the whole event. Crypt, bomb, zombie. I'm surprised that SAS is out here, though. Because, yeah, we just fought SAS G6 last event. I'm surprised that they're way out here. G44. I could peek it. Wait, hold on. I think Hansz said... Oh, wait. Hansz said a rally, but it'll be a couple minutes. Golden from Val. Okay, yeah. I've been watching Val specifically. Dude, you guys have been tower fighting like none other. What am I watching here? Probably here. No. Here. This is... Wait, what am I supposed to be watching in G44? Something's supposed to be happening here? You said come watch G44 and literally there's nothing happening. There's no one swinging. You took... So why would I come watch G44 if everyone's dead? That doesn't make... Okay. Popping a small alliance is the regions up. To a degree, but I think what you do by doing that is you solve one problem and create another, though. If you limit and restrict people to joining the alliances that they want to join in the regions they join in, you limit the players that they're able to play with and the friends that they're able to make at that point. Like, I know that you don't know this because of the time that you joined the game and whatnot, but SSI, for example, and DHX started, those alliances were formed during the times of Boone and H&B, BTW, Doom, and those alliances being top. Though that Korean and that Chinese alliance came to the forefront and dominated. I can't remember what SSI's name was before. It was DHX, or no, it was DHX and ROK. Those were the two. So DHX and ROK came to the forefront, and those possibilities to create alliances like that, like the new, what used to be dominated by Boone, H&B, and all the rest of those, now all of a sudden from the ruins came this, you know, unknown names like DHX and ROK and whatnot, which are now like insanely dominant alliances. SSI, insanely dominant alliances. These are all formed because of the immigration. So I think that, like, just looking at the one negative part of the immigration side of things, like, if you solve one problem that the immigration side of things causes, you run the risk of taking out like 10 benefits that the immigration system also has as well. So yeah, the immigration system may cause a couple problems, but it also creates a ton of benefits too. I don't think that the matchmaking issues has anything really remotely to do with the alliance part, as much as it's just a poor matchmaking system. They don't take enough things into factor, is the problem. But at the same time, there's no... It's, like, hard to measure, like, what you're going to, like, I guess, like, rate a player off of. You can't really rate them off of armaments because you can say, like, oh, someone has 20 mil total power in armaments. But it's like, what if 7 mil of that power is just dumped into 5, like, farming marches at, like, 1 mil each or 1.2 mil each? And you think, like one person could have 1 7 mil infantry set and one person has 5 1.2 mil farming sets, and they're both 7 mil on paper when you just look at it from a high view or a Falcon's eye view, they both have 7 mil in armament power. But one of them is going to be extremely versatile in combat and very usable, and the other one is just a pure farmer. So you can't really use armaments. I would say that you can use garages and you can use beasts for sure, but you can't use armaments. The majority of players. I think that the immigration system benefits the majority of players 100%, 1,000%, 1,000%. 99% of these long-time alliances that have been around for a very long time would have died a long time ago without the immigration system. None of these alliances would have held up. This game would have died a long time ago if it wasn't for the immigration system. The immigration system was one of the best things they put in. It's the same exact reason why games like World of Warcraft and any other like MMO or massive multiplayer game has server merges and stuff like that, or free server transfers from dying servers and whatnot, is because there is a player attrition rate that's going to happen. So the fact that this game allows for you to transfer servers pretty much for free is just following those footsteps. Yeah, but that's just... What you're saying is like, oh, this big time player came into the region and he ruined the experience of all the other 99 players. If you're one of the 99 players, just go to a different region. And yeah, one of the those whale players will keep going to new regions, and you're gonna run into regions that have nonstop whale players. But that's like saying we didn't experience whale players in our regions before this immigration system happened. Like, I started in region 23, and there were 3 players that were spending $10,000 a week that dominated the region and kicked us out. And that's the reason why we left region 23 2 months into it, and we all had to pay massive amounts of money to leave the region, and there was no immigration system at the time that was a good one and cheap one for us to leave, and many of our players had to quit because there was no cheap immigration system to be able to leave. And so we were tortured by whales that were dropping copious amounts of money, and we were chained to the region that we were in, and players that didn't have the ability to spend money had to quit the game because they couldn't leave, and those of us that could had to leave the region. So it's not a problem that's unique to the immigration system at all. G6 is, or G7 that I'm in doesn't have any action right now. There's literally nothing to watch. They're rallying this, but Hansz is rallying. It's just gonna get mobbed on the new cross region event. What's the new cross region event? I don't even know what the new cross region event is. Yeah, but top players bringing Marshall to another alliance and stuff like that, that's just poor coding in the game. Like, that's something that you can fix without needing to fix the migration system. You can make it to where if a player has a Marshall buff, they cannot have that Marshall buff applied when in an alliance that is not in the same region as them. They can have the title, however the buff doesn't apply unless the alliance that they're in has this, or is of the same region that their actual account is from. That's an easy coding to fix. You don't need to remove a whole immigration system to fix that. That's what I mean. Like, you don't need to go to insane drastics to fix such a small issue. And that's a small thing. You're telling me that you want to get rid of a whole migration system over a 5% attack buff. That's insane to me. That's insane. You said that the best rally combo is Ethan Bard because AOD anti-swarm. What about low Gs that don't get swarmed? Is it still better than Julia Bard or Sophie Bard? Sophie Bard is a good alternative. Sophie Bard is the good alternative because you get the low rage expenditure, so you can dump skills like fast, and what's it called? And she's cheaper because she's the roulette hero. So Sophie is just like the cheap alternative to Ethan. If you can get Ethan, Ethan is the best option because he has the transcendent weapon, so he's going to deal more damage. You're going to get more out of Ethan Bard, but if you can't get Ethan Bard, a good substitute to that is Sophie. Nah, I still don't believe in the. I still don't believe in the restriction side of things. I think that they did it well. I think that having no restrictions is better, in terms of like how it is. I think that the only restriction that they need to have is just longer periods of time before players can join the brand new regions. I think that like 30 days or whatever it is too short. Like they should extend that out. But other than that, that's the only restriction they need to have, and it shouldn't be anything extreme either. Like 90 days tops. Sophie or Lynn for field, you could do both. You couldn't go wrong with either. Sophie's going to give you more AoE. Lynn's going to be a little bit more survivable. Ethan, Louis for Garrison, yes. If you have the Louis skin, put Louis in lead. No. See, that's just too many restrictions. And I think that most players would disagree as well. I think the only players that would agree with that are low power players or players that are in brand new regions that are feeling like the negative antics of it. But even then, like I've met plenty of players that in newer regions that the newer alliances and whatnot are just have poor leaderships, and they just would prefer to go to an older region or a more sustained alliance. G32. I don't know. I migrated from region 23 to 6 to, or we went from 23 to 7 to 6 to 164. So I did 23 to 7 and 7 to 6 off of the old migration system, and that was butt fuck expensive. So I've seen the benefit of the new alliance or the new immigration system. I've also, again, because of the new migration system, like all these alliances that are around are all there because of the new migration system. I think that the problems that you're raising don't have anything to do with the migration system as much as it is a lack of restrictions on new regions. So it's not the migration system itself that's broken, it's the new regions themselves not having enough essentially like safety measures in place to allow a new player to grow and experience. If you want to be in an alliance, you should have to come to the region. No, not really. I think that's kind of dumb, because like why would, if I want to potentially join an alliance, like let's just say that my alliance that I'm currently in just isn't cutting it, like where like I'm a fighter, I want to be in the fighting alliance, I see an alliance that I played with an AR, they look promising, I want to try it out with them, but I don't want to full commit to them. Because I don't know what it's like. I don't know if I'm going to get along with their personalities. I don't really know, what the rest of the players are like. I've just seen that they do well in the field, and that looks appealing to me, and I want to try it out. Why should I have to relinquish all of my resources in order to go to a region to try out playing with them, to then find out that I don't like it, and then just to go to another one? There's no downside to you being able to join a region or join an alliance cross-region. The downside that I think that you're looking at is the cross-regional events. Like, we used to have in-region top commander. We used to have in-region, whatever competitive events and stuff. That stuff we do miss, and we should bring back for sure, 100%. I think that you can have both. You should be able to join in an alliance cross-region and participate in things like Archipelago raid, Island raid, and the killing events because you want to join in an alliance for killing events. But events like Top Commander and stuff should still be locked to the region that your account is physically in. Then it has an incentive to where, hey, if you want to play Top Commander or whatever have you, and the region that you're in sucks for it, and you're in an alliance in another region and Top Commander's better there, you might want to go migrate there. Yes, this AR is extremely boring. And oh, look at that. We have the checkpoint. Oh, my march is marching from so far away. Whoops. Yo, what up, Ralphie? Oh, Raffy? A Johnny player that used to be in our alliance. If that's his, like, legal name, I don't know. I don't really know people by their legal names. The only ones that, well, the only ones that I know by their legal name is people from Region 23. If his name in game was Johnny, that sounds kind of familiar. But maybe, I don't know. I have a question on using Louis Julia and rather Julia Louis. What's up, Shuba? How you doing? Shubo. What's up, Pixel? How you doing? Yeah, immigration might be cheap, but the resources that you'd lose going to that region aren't cheap. That's the point. Like Sloth Hurts. Oh, you're in G6? Yeah, that guy's strong as shit. He's rider based, right? He has a strong rider. Rider armament. Yeah. I don't think there's a need to have one or the other. It's not like Chun where if it's like an assistant. I'm trying to think. Not necessarily. I would say that the only thing there is that Louis' AoE or Louis' rage skill is AoE. And Julia will have a talent here called Skillful Firepower to where you increase skill damage after using a skill. So if you have Julia in lead, she will use her rage skill, proc Skillful Firepower, which increases skill damage, and then Louis will use his rage skill, which has increased skill damage, and he has the AoE one. So technically speaking, if you had to pick single target damage or AoE damage to deal more damage, and you're out in the field, I would want the AoE one to deal more damage. So I would lead with Julia and have Louis second. Need to promote myself here. Kick out these riders. Get out of here. Get out of here. Skedaddle. Yeah, that's the whole point. That's one of the benefits of it right now. Here you go. Oh yeah, I did kind of read about that. I forgot all about that though. I didn't really look into it. No, Hansz isn't Garrison. Hansz came because he doesn't want to play Garrison. He does too much. He does a lot for his team in H&B, and he wanted to come to a team to where he could just field fight and rally. And he knows that I'm a Garrison leader. He's been trying to recruit me for a long time. I love this guy. He's dope. So yeah, he came here, and I told him I'll Garrison for him, and he can just rally and play field and kill people. And that's what he's been doing. And then our whole team will be merging into H&B for the next events. Why don't I ever use Miyamoto? Better options. Like a Crimson Gate, we can't hold Jade 1 versus 1. We're at G6? What are you talking about, Mustafa? Are you in G6? Where are you at? You say look at Crimson Gate. Stop using my legal name. No, I don't. I'm just kidding. This needs to be switched. This is popping up to this because it's in Garrison. But I actually, I use, I do have Miyamoto on here as of recently, but it's Bodala, Bodala Miyamoto or Bodala Eddie or Bodala Adut. As of recently, it's been Miyamoto Bodala because I just wanted a faster march. But yeah, this is what I've been using. I'm just giving you shit, Scooby. G7? Gate 4? Oh, wait, you're way up here? Oh, I see. Oh, that's where it's happening. I didn't realize you guys had another tower down. Because zoomed out, I see this. I didn't realize you had another tower down. Man, shut the fuck up, Bane. I mean, I can't even like clap back to that because your name is literally like your YouTube. Freaking NomNom. And like what? I don't. Man, shut the hell up. Hold on. I'm gonna do. This isn't interesting to watch, guys, but I have to do this, otherwise I always forget, and then it's like the next day it reset, and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't do them. Oh, okay, I can't do that one yet. Full stalker bar. Dude. I'm just gonna say this right now, man. Bane. I am so sorry that this has been the most boring AR in the world, man. I cannot tell you how absolutely heartbreaking it is to have you guys come here and then IGG just flip the middle finger on us for like what G bracket we were in. Best beast for field, anything with critter combo on it. What do you think of UOD versus MXM? I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention. I like UOD a lot, though. I know a lot of their members. I have a lot of friends that are in there right now. UOD is another one that I'll merge into eventually. I keep getting invited. UOD and 59E. I get a lot of invites to join them. I need to do that eventually. I need to go play with UOD soon. 59E as well. I like 59E's leader a lot also. Like low key Hansz still has my heart, but I like 59E's leader. He's really smart also. He's just a cool guy to talk to too. He knows what he's doing with his rider march also. He's fun to be able to bounce nerdy game talk off with. And then UOD has Coco and Yes Please, who I'm really good friends with. Well, I'm friends with the guys from NM49, but they're merged in UOD. And also, I think Blaze is in UOD right now, but I'm good friends with Coco, good friends with Yes Please, Mimi, Blaze. That's VIP's R5. VIP is actually in our AR right now, but they're in Azure. Barris, that guy's awesome. Beefcake's cool. Serious, I didn't realize he was there right now. I thought he was in Prim. Interesting. MXM part of DHX. We are here for an easy event and a break from G1. Yeah, man, but it's, you know, like, it's just like, I feel bad. Like, I guess I feel less bad now that I know that, like, Hans's wife's birthday is this weekend, so I feel like less bad that he like has to commit less to the game and he can actually like take a legit break and go spend time with his family. I think that's actually like really cool that he can go do that and not have to worry about the game. But at the same time, like I really wish that like we could have at least like put on a show or something, you know? Cause fucking A, man, like the last few ARs have been so much fun. Like I was really like genuinely looking forward to you guys being there. It was like, okay, like we won't have 14-hour tower fights, but they're actually like tough to break. UOD is with MXM right now? Oh, is that what it is? Okay, that makes sense. Oh yeah, huh, okay. Yeah, we just had okay, okay, I see. That makes sense. I don't know. Like I know MXM. I know some of their players. I've talked to quite a few of their players as well before. They're pretty cool. You have to like realize too. Like I don't have any issues with anybody in the game like whatsoever. Like I've talked to and been friends with Save Me as well. Like I've taken Save Me rallies. I've taken Hansz rallies. Like Hansz is in our alliance, but Hansz has kicked my ass more times than I can count. I've eaten Hansz rallies every day of the week. Not like I've like eaten them in one kind of a thing, but like I've taken Hansz rallies. Like we've been rallied by Hansz. I mean, like more times than I can count. DNTN. This was the alliance that was our sister alliance in Region 6 when we went there. Run by Tony, Crut, Tony, XYZZ, Sushi. Yeah. We when we left Region 7, No Face, we went to Region 6. They were all there. What is that? Let's see. TPL, the content creators. TPL are content creators? Do they actually make videos and stuff? I didn't know that. Who watch your fights in the downtime? That's funny. I was looking at G3 LL67. Let me take a look. Is nuts. How does her Ragor survive? I mean, even with the buff, shield, the damage, still get to him? No, or maybe I'm missing something. So, where's LL67? Isn't it on gold, right? Yeah. I don't know why. I think LL67 was up in like Crimson last event. So just because something is staying alive does not mean that the trades are good, right? Like you can and I'm sure you've probably seen and done this before. You can funnel into something and nonstop, and then you go and look at the report, and it's just the absolute abysmal, right? I do know that LL67, like their main players especially, are extremely strong. So having high garage like protection to mitigate the barrage fire effect can mitigate a lot of damage altogether, and then from there it's just armaments. But yeah, the damage will definitely penetrate, and he's not going to be dealing a lot of, or she's not going to be dealing a lot of damage. That's for sure. And it just because something is surviving does not mean that the trades are going to look great. I'm getting 100 words a minute in because I've been drinking. If Rigoro is Riven's assistant, still get 30% bonus to his shield? Yes. No. Anytime that Riven is paired with somebody, whether Riven is lead or assistant, they will get a 30% bonus to shield. So Riven can be leading Eddie, Riven can be leading Rigoro, Riven can be leading Stella, Riven can be leading Marco. Yeah, anybody that gets a shield, they'll get a 30% bonus. Let me make sure. As far as I know,
Take your eyes off me, my darling.
I don't think that there's any verbiage about being an assistant. Yeah, there's no verbiage about being an assistant. Any good Stella assistants in field battle? The best thing to do with Stella in field battle is keep her in your base. Sorry. If you are going to use Stella in field, use Marco. If you have it. If you don't have Marco, use Eddie. If you don't have Eddie, use Bodala. Yeah, you can get an idea by seeing the damage, for sure. For sure, 100%. G8. Sorry, were we talking about something that I was supposed to look at G8 for? This is where OXO's at. I was saying this earlier. A lot of my recruits that I have in my alliance all came from OXO. Is this... Did Zombie sell his account? Uh-oh. So if Riven activates a shield from her third ability or awakened ability and Eddie's the leader, will it? Let me go take a look so I can see what you're talking about. So if Riven activates a shield from her third ability or her awakened ability and Eddie is the leader, will Eddie's awakened ability activate for Riven's shield? His is when the shield pops? Yes. Yes. So similar to where Riven gives a shield or health bonus to all shields, a 30% shield bonus, which includes Eddie's shield here. Eddie, when a shield is broken, the HP reduces, will apply to Riven's shield here, shield here. It will apply to Stella's shield here, shield here. It also applies to Bodala's shield here as well. It also applies to Marco's shield here as well. Yes, you are correct. Sorry, what were we watching? It was like G3, G8. We're watching a few of them. Sorry, we're kind of bouncing all over the place, guys. Yeah, no worries at all. No worries at all. That question gets asked a lot, so you are not, you're not asking the wrong questions. How the flying fuck did you get a tower down there? That's a thing? Why is that a thing? Wait, what? Whose tower is this? GN14. That's blue, right? How did blue get a tower here? What is that touching? Is it that tower? No. No, I know that there's a no clip through the terrain. No, I get that, but it showed that there was a gap here, so I was just trying to figure out, like, why did it seem like it was still active? That... Oh, that's not too wide for a tower. No, that is too wide because it overlapped here. So how was that touching? Because there was a gap. I don't understand. Alright, brother. Have a good one, man. Hey, sorry about your situation again, dude. Let me know if you need anything. bypass mountain. Eddie Riven is good counter. Rally on Felix rally is a good counter. Rally on Phoenix rally. Yeah, no worries, man. Maybe I can see the benefit of it because you have 3 shields that will be reducing HP of that rally. What an Eddie Riven rally is doing is that you have 3 shields that are constantly breaking to reduce the enemy HP. That's solid, I guess. But Eddie's whole kit is counter damage, and you're not going to be taking counter damage, so you're not going to be dealing counter damage. Or I'm sorry, you're not going to be dealing counter damage because you're not going to be taking basic attacks. So you lose that part of the kit. So I guess like if you just want a strictly HP debuff counter rally, then yes, that counter rally would be good. Save Me's in GXM, which is in here, right? Where was that? Was it G2? No, it was like, oh yeah, G2. Safe Me is an MXM. He's right here. This is Safe Me. Can I show you chase base? What's a chase base? I've had my alliance alone fight Safe Me's alliance, and we've held Garrison against him. Actually, he sent a message to so it was Island Raid. It was an Island Raid, and we were the alliance that was next to them in Island Raid, and they marched onto us, and Mr. Brain had logged off and was not safe, and so we garrisoned a tower and held Safe Me rallies for about 3 hours, and then Safe Me typed into Island Chat that he respected us a lot for being a small alliance that had no Titan-sized whales, and we were able to hold off his rallies, and then they had to build a flank tower to cut the tower behind us. So yeah, we've held Safe Me rallies before. That was before we left Apex, so that was probably like 6 months ago. I don't know if I live streamed it. I do know that we it was a big deal for our alliance for a while. Let me take a look actually. Your videos live. Archipelago raid. Give me 1 second, guys. Hold on. I'm looking. I might actually have it. Hey, I found the video. Hold on, give me 1 second. Yeah, I was only 170 mil. Let's see. No, it was 10 months ago. 10 months ago on the video. Where's TPL? They're in G6. Tell Hansz to come on stream. It's his wife's birthday this weekend. That's why it's also one of the reasons why they came. He needed a chill Archipelago raid. Go ask Armored to make a video on you. I think he said he was gonna do something like that. Yeah, here. Let me see how I can get it to pull up. 1 second. Okay. So it was this one. This was the video. I was trying to watch because like a lot of it is like me actually like trying to keep the Garrison, but yeah, that's a save me rally. Dude, by this time it was chunking, it was hurting. But yeah, I was only 170 mil at that time, and you can see like they were rallying us, and they had actually ended up having to build around us. And I was looking at the comments here because I actually called it out, and I was like, you guys are building around us, so good game. I called it out, like, where is it? Like, yeah, another tower. Y'all are double our power, and then yeah, pretty much yeah. They built a flank tower on us because they couldn't break our tower. Like this was us like garrisoning against them for like an hour or like 3 hours straight. I was trying to see if I have any of the garrison reports. But yeah, even he asked like what we were using, what buff were we using and stuff. But yeah, that was us garrisoning against Save Me, an island raid. That was 10 months ago. Sure hurts, but that was us. Yeah, G1 times. We don't do that no more though. No more of that shit. But we're gonna be doing it next event, so. Oh, it probably was zoomed in a bit. Yeah, it was 10 months ago. Yeah, like I said, we've played against a lot of them. One of the videos like was when we were garrisoning against. Here actually, I can pull up that one as well. Content, videos. This was when we merged with NM49, and this was when we were garrisoning against Hansz. Hansz and them were on the other team. Yeah. So I mean, we've been doing this for a long time.
We don't have guns for drive-by. We have guns for somebody ignorant who want to try something, and just had to,
debuts. He's actually in the AR right now that we're in. Poppy's there. Poppy Fudge. Dell. He used to be in SOAR. That was one of Rox's players. Okay, there's Poppy. I think where's Hansz? Yeah, there's Hansz. Hansz. I think Hansz and Poppy swarmed the tower at the end of this. Yeah. Yeah, so that's Hansz rallying and a Hansz and Poppy swarm. So we've... Dude, like, it's weird to see this. It was 10 months ago also. Yeah. Oh, wait. I didn't change the screen, did I? I just realized that. I'm, like, talking. You guys can't see the video. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Whoops. Sorry. It's my fault. I forgot about that. I had to click a button on my OBS. Sorry. Let me pull that back up. Sorry about that, guys. I thought I clicked the button on the OBS. I clicked the wrong button. There you go. So what I was saying was, it's like this part of the video. So there's the Hansz rally. And there's the Hansz marches coming to swarm it. And yeah, like, yeah. And then there's King too. I don't know if you guys know King, but King's an extremely strong player also. That guy's insane. That was a crazy AR, but that was when the we and NM49 merged. This was the last, I think, AR that NM49 did before NM49 started merging into UOD every event. But yeah, they join UOD every event now. But this is when we were playing against Hansz and them. This was back when Rise Against was like, yes please is like other half pretty much. That was good times, man. Apex is a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun, don't get me wrong. I enjoy Apex a lot. It's just, it's very, very expensive to play in. Because like, that's the thing, right? Like, we're family with H&B, and, you know, like, I'm extremely good friends with them. Like, I fucking die for those people. But when you're in G1 and you're in Apex and stuff, like, one day you're best friends and the next day you're swinging on each other, even though you are best friends. Check G5. Oh, check G50. Okay, Jesus. What's in G50? This? That's ended. There's nothing there. Nothing there. You guys all tell me to check things that are, like, already done. There's like, yeah, there's like nothing happening. Am I missing something? There's nothing happening. You guys are like PvPing now. G7. Oh, dude, there's our bracket. Yeah, not shit. Yo, I don't know if you saw. Oh fuck, you guys are swarming. I don't know if you saw the message, man, but Jade is asking if we'll let them keep the 7 because Azure didn't do anything. Bane. Freaking what's his name reached out. Zappy. He's asking if they can keep the 7 because Azure didn't do anything and they feel like they deserve to have something at least. Can I take a look at the G5 progress? Yeah, G5. I've been watching G5 actually. G5's been a lot of fun to watch this event. So green took over. Blue is still. Oh, blue's pushed up there. Red. Damn, I'm like, this map is all over the place. It looks like G5's done though. Depends how tired I get. G6 we traded with Jade the entire AR. Yeah, Panda's in our alliance as well. Or one of Panda's alt accounts is in our alliance. He's been cluing us in on it the whole time. About like what's been happening there. That's crazy. Yeah, G6, dude. Oh fuck, man. I wish we were in G6, man. I would pay big money for us to have been in G6 this event. Whose tower is this? Hey man, someone has to die, alright? I just wanted to do some killing this hair. I got my beast awakened, and then I got Otachi to rank 11, and I didn't even get to use it this event. I am so mad. I was so looking forward to just eating some Garrisons in Elite before having to go to fucking Apex and getting turned into a pretzel. And now I can't even have that. So now, on the cusp of me maxing out my Pango and getting Otachi to rank 11, the first thing I get to experience after doing it is getting turned into an anti-ants pretzel. Awesome. Awesome. Yo. God damn. Well, he's gonna quit the game. Why ROKSSI not fighting on the towers near level 8? I think it's because I don't know. I think it's just because there's more of a fight here, and I think they're just trying to protect their ally. Like, you can do the thing where, like, oh, you go here and you just split the fight and you spread it out. But you kind of also, like, at the same time, too, like, when you're in this upper bracket, you kind of do that as, like, a last resort, like, when you start to get burnt out. A lot of these people, like, want the fight. And by doing this, they stop their ally from basically, like, getting taken out of the equation. So they apply pressure here. Their ally, you know, takes the pressure here and try to push his pressure back. They're able to funnel into the field here while applying pressure on this part of it. Like, they can work with their ally here. And yes, they could split ROK and HMB and whatnot and do the other thing, but that's also kind of boring. Like, you do that if you want to take the win. Which has point hacks. Never heard of it. Fuck me, I kind of want to go pour another drink. Might go do that real quick. I'm going to leave you guys with this real quick. I'm going to go do that. So you said you would go to H&B next event. So my next the next set of events, AR, Island Raid, and Genesis. Not this next Genesis one, huh? What? Hey, don't tickle me. Don't tickle me. You goofy. Love you. No, this Genesis War will be in ours, and then the next set of 3, Island Raid, Archipelago, and Genesis War will be in H&B. We might join them on this one. I don't know. We could probably arrange some. No, I don't know. I have a lot of people asking. I don't know. I've got like PHX asking, VIP asking, 59E, UOD, H&B. Fuck, who is the other one that we just talked to? Oh, God. There's another one, I can't remember who it is now. But those ones at least we've talked to, so, I don't know. I don't know if we'll do our own thing. I don't know if we'll merge with someone. But... Hi, baby. Goofy. Hi, silly. Alright, I'm gonna go pour another drink. I'll be back, guys. Give me 1 minute. Okay, sorry. Little one had to have a tickle fight war in the midst of me getting a drink. I'm 50. What was the first day? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if you're still here, Bane, but I'm about to look at G8, 2 parties against 1 player. Fuck me, this is strong. God damn. Do I have an alt account? I have farm accounts, but I don't have an alt account, no. Blue, give me 1 second. I'll be right back to this. These are my farms here. Where are they? There they are. These are my farms here. They're like between like 13 to 40 mil, 45 mil, something like that. Or 12 of them. All right, G8. Blue. Down here, I assume? Oh yeah, tops. Sorry. Okay, this is what you're talking about. No. So I run like a system in the alliance where we pretty much like run an alliance vault system where alliance members can use the farm accounts to like supply themselves. I cap myself out every day at 200 mil resources every day that I give myself, but I also cap out. I think I can cap out like 3 or 4 other players a day as well. The goal is to buy another 25 to 35 farm accounts for the alliance and create like an alliance resource vault. So we can just continue to supply like everybody. But because of that, yeah, other people can use the accounts and they farm and we like rotate it and stuff. So there's always something like resetting the farms from like different time zone and stuff. And there are many enemies who fully awakened monsters. Yeah, I'm one of them. I'm one of them. Where is Tops? I want to ask for the report. Is Tops in Fury? He is. I don't know. I've scored like 300 mil points the first day in an event. I think the most points. Well, I don't think I've ever really scored more than like 1.5 billion points in an event. But I've scored a couple 100 mil points in a day. So I play with you at NM49. It's a pleasure then. Also now, thanks for trying to help us keep level 7. Yeah, I'm trying. I fully support it, brother. You guys. No, man. I mean, it's fair. I don't see why not. Like Azure could have copped out like day one, just like, or Jade could have copped out day one like Azure did. Azure said, "Oh, they didn't ally us. We don't want to fight." Jade was the first team to ask us if we would ally, and we have a lot of friends in Jade. Like for example, you have ex H&B members in TH48 with debuts, and Charn, I've known. Me and her used to co-lead in Region 7 together. Zappy was the first person to reach out from Jade, and they asked us to ally. Charn asked us to ally, and we turned them down. Even with that, they came out to fight us 1v2 and every single thing. Gold scavs, level 7 scavs, chainsaws, like every single thing, even without Azure support. And even though Azure came out to the middle, they didn't do anything except field fight. So it's like, I see what they mean. Like, they really didn't have an ally this event at all. And the rewards have already been pretty much dished out. Like they're gonna get a 10% healing buff. That's it. Oh, sorry if you can hear my drink. Ice cubes are fucking getting caught in the mouthpiece of my fucking cup. Yeah, he was just an HB, correct? Top 10 Gs where no fight happened today in the center. All right. Let's go back to watching some fights. I don't know about you guys, but I wish I was fighting, so. God damn. Okay, I see something on fire. What is it? NWAFs. Where's the other towers here? Oh, there it is. It's just the 1, 2. Oh, both towers. Okay. So now it's going to be full on ROK versus SSI at this point. Oh, whoops. Not on the right map. So what is going to be rallied next? I don't know. Let's go take a look at some of the other ones now. That one's pretty much done. Oh no, down here. That is just so much skill damage. That's what you expect. I feel like these things are like eating skill damage, but then like this rally isn't. Just because the field marches stepped up. It's like these markers getting melted. What's up, Harvey? How you doing? Oh, Sushi, don't stand there, run. Sushi, don't stand under that. You're getting ripped. Look at that. That march is almost dead after like 3 skill hits. Damn. God, the skill damage reduction on Casey's insane. You can just like see the numerical difference. 23k, 38k, 14k, 28 or 23k. It's almost half. That's ridiculous. That's what you want to do, man. If you got like one of these ranged, if you got an Ethan Garrison, man, just bring him under tower. You get so many free kills with that. I hope the next infantry garrison they give us an AoE infantry garrison with a skill tree. Oh man, I'll get bricked up so quick. Got him. Damn, okay, they're pushing back. Oh, wait, old Papa. This is Boone. What's his name? Samuel? This is Boone Samuel. I actually just held a garrison against him in Pompeii. Funny enough. Have a garrison report fighting Samuel. We just had Boone. Where is he? Is he up here? Where is Samuel? G5. That's cool. Yeah, right here. Yeah, I was playing against him. Yeah, Samuel's strong as shit. He's geared out. Take a look at some of the other ones. Where'd my music go? G4 looks like it's probably done. G5 probably done. I don't know. Yeah. Let's go see if we can like just put in like a random boony number. G76. Let's see what it looks like. Just a random number. That one's already done. 84. Just go out into the sticks. Alright, these are all done. 55. People are already all getting cut. I don't know. 58. These things are already pretty much all done. Oh wait, here we go. Got something. See, you know you're out in the sticks when you have a Thunder Tom rally. Or not Thunder, Rigoro Tom rally. Rigoro Tom, not even tanking, by the way. The Eddie Adut is tanking. Rigoro Tom's secondary rally is crazy. G67. Let's take a look. What we got? Got something maybe. Okay. Thunder Riven, okay, that's decent. We got a Master Jin rally. A Master Jin Julia rally, okay. Interesting. He may just have a good. He may have a good leader set. You know what? Fuck with it. That Chasy's 5114 is crazy. Oh fuck. Oh fuck, that's funny. Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay, that's funny. Elena Bella. Okay, okay. What we got over here on this side? Got a Marco rally, okay. A Marco Bianca rally. Right, so this guy literally took his support march and said this'll do and sent it at the tower. Interesting. And then we have a SpongeBob Louie rally. Oh, it's a Julia Louie rally. Okay. Might as well be a SpongeBob Julia or Louie rally. Huh. Interesting. Okay, okay. Someone said G30. Oh wait, hold on. What is this? Looks like a jigsaw puzzle over here. What do you got going on? We got pulverizer going down. Alright. Yeah, because fuck tower's touching, right? Alright, we got like 49. Looks like it's all but done. Can we go even further? 91. That's a thing? That is a thing. They're dunzo. 95. Oh, okay, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. We got some deep action going on here. Did I just see a Sven? We got the Bella Sven on a Thunder Adut Garrison. Okay, hold on a minute. AK-4T Dana just pulling all the wonders out. Wait a minute. This guy said damage who? Left it in his base. Brought the Thunder and a Dut to the tower. Okay. Okay. Damage MIA on that one. Where is Gold and Crimson? Crimson still struggling to get into the game. Oh wait, no, here they are. Here they are. Okay. I thought Crimson was still just sleeping on all fours. Okay, hold on a minute. These guys having a Dut. Oh, a Dut Rigoro? A Thunder Victor? Oh, what? This needs to be a screenshot. This needs to be a screenshot. You're rallying fuckery with fuckery, getting counter rallied by fuckery. Oh my god, it's the farm chick! Oh wait, no, that's a march. That's not a counter rally. Okay, I thought that was a counter rally. It's like what on God's green earth is happening in G95? Isn't Adut the only infantry that is not for Garrison? Come to think of it. Technically speaking, Bodala isn't supposed to be for Garrison, but Bodala can because of his shield, but yes. Yes. Garrison hero rallies are open. You know what? G95 knows something that I don't. There's a reason why they're there and I'm not. A Rigoro Jaden. Oh my god, we're in the boonies, boys. These are like the friends your mom warns you from hanging out with. They'll get you in trouble. Yeah, it's a Thunder Victor rally. Who's best at Miyamoto for field fight? Who's good for rallies? Dut is good, Bodala is good, Marco is good. Those are probably your 3 best to pair with Miyamoto for field. Rally wise, like, are you asking like who to pair with Miyamoto for rallies? If you're gonna use Miyamoto on rallies, a Dut is fine on rallies. A Dut is actually solid on rallies with Miyamoto. Eddie, Marco, same thing. Stella, obviously. Bodala is also good if you want to be tankier. Like, again, it's kind of the same list. Kind of the same list. Like, you could use any of them. You could even go as far as to use Jin. Jin's still solid. I think Jin gets overlooked, but that's just because there's, like, especially like if you're in the upper brackets, everybody just has like every hero, and there's just so many good heroes right now that Jin just isn't necessarily needed. But if you're not like in one of the top Gs, then or like one of the top G brackets, Jin is still favorable. Bodala Miyamoto is extremely good. I use Bodala Miyamoto in field myself, actually. That's my that's the March that I use in my main armament set. My main infantry armament set in the field. Extremely good. You get the movement speed. I think you have like 5% less movement speed than a Dut on Bodala, but you still have a lot of survivability. He has less survivability stats than a Dut, in one sense, because a Dut has a lot of like that stuff that like stacks up, but he has that the shield, and then he has all the damage on counterattacks. So if your Miyamoto gets swarmed, the shield keeps him alive, and then that bonus counterattack damage that ends up proccing on each counterattack, or has a chance to proc on each counterattack. Sorry, with no cooldown, by the way. Not a bad Thunder Rally. You say that, but we haven't seen the report. For all we know, that Jaden just ripped that Thunder apart. Let's go even further. Doesn't exist? This is the end? 95. Okay, wow. Oh, wait, here we go. Something? Nothing. Okay, now this map's kind of confusing. No, crimson, gold. Oh, okay, no, it's less confusing. Never mind. Just got confused because of the towers that were cut. 92. Shadow Tech. We got something. Yep. Where were we at? 92, I think. What would be the 3 best infantry field squads, both lead and support, and why? Lead wise, it won't necessarily matter, because the thing for lead is that you only want to have heroes in general, whether it be range, rider, infantry, but heroes in general that have the skill talent tree, right? You need that for field because you need the rage regen. So Marco is a good one, Bodala is good, Miyamoto is good, a Dut is good, right? Those are going to be like your 4 main lead heroes, or Robert if you have Robert, right? So 5 lead heroes for infantry in the field. Any one of those 5 that you have that are awakened, those are going to be your lead heroes. Those are going to be your 3 best. Then behind them would be any of those same ones, plus Eddie is good. Bianca is great because her as a support is just phenomenal. You can even use her on 5115. You could even use her on 5111, but 5115 she does pretty well. But yeah, Eddie, Bianca, Louis behind a Dut or Louis behind Miyamoto works really well as well. Also, especially like if you're not using him on like your range march. So like on my range march, for example, I will run Sophie and what's her name, Lynn. And I'll put Louis behind Miyamoto, or Louis behind Bodala, or Louis behind Marco. Louis just works great in field anyways, because since you have the skill talent tree to generate rage, and he has AoE and more rage regen, it just benefits each other. So it does well. So yeah, any of those skill talent heroes that I mentioned for infantry, use those for lead. Any one of them, it doesn't really matter which ones, they all do well in field. Any one of them for secondary that you're not using for lead, and then also add to that mix in terms of secondary Eddie, Louis, and Bianca. Any combination of those, you'll do perfectly fine. And in terms of like what's best, it's just whatever heroes are awakened that you have, or closest to awakening. Those will perform best for you. Okay, back to G91. And that was a short trip. G90. Short trip as well. 89. Damn, I can't believe like everyone's ARs just ended so quick. I do see this is connected though. Hold on a minute. Jade is pushing out? So Crimson had control in middle. And then Jade is pushing out. Gold. How is G89 no one touched each other yet? Like, pause when I say that, but like, nobody... Why are there so many towers here? What is this? Do you guys need like the speed ups for farming? Why was 100,000 cement used on these tiles? All right, G88. I've seen it all. I've seen it all. Okay, this one looks dunzo. 87. That one's done. 86. Let's see. We're gonna find something. Oh. Why do you have 172 million? You're out in G86. Sir, are you lost? Can you do like an alliance tour? I know that you were a Garrison lead, but that's it. I'd like to know more. Like of our alliance, is that what you're saying? FiB? I'm pretty sure that's what you're saying. I just want to make sure. Sure. Yeah, no problem. So, with the exception of Hansz, NomNom, and Poppy, and Rox, I've known Rox since... I've known Rox now for 2... Sorry, let me change that. Me and Rox has tried recruiting me for about 2 years now. Ever since I went to regions, ever since our group went to Region 6, he used to lead a group called Fox 12. Was that the region? Fox 12? Yeah, it was. It was Fox 1 in Region 12. That's what it was. Fox 1 in Region 12. He used to be the R5 of this that alliance. And yeah, so they're visitors here, but he's an H&B now. So with the exception of those four, ABZ has a 6 point. We both have the same exact power pretty much on our range sets. So he's a ranged rally, ranged garrison main player for us, and then I have the exact same armament power as him. Greaves, he's our main rider player. He has a 6.9 mil now rider. When we picked him up, or when I recruited him, or he approached us, I think we had an AR together, and we did a 1v2 that AR, our legion versus 2 legions, and we won. And then after that, he showed interest in like wanting to come to our alliance. We picked him up. I think at the time his rider was like 5.5 mil, something like that. And he's at like 6.9 now. So he's our rider Garrison and our rider rally, or mostly rider counter rally and rider Garrison. Yo Mama asked Stank. I started in Region 23 with him. Rocks, like I said, he used to be the R1 or R5, sorry, of Fox 1. Whites, known him. I think it wasn't Region 23 we started in. He was in Region 6. He was in. We went to Region 6 so we migrated from Region 23 to Region 7. And then from Region 7 to Region 6, I think that was probably like 5 months into playing the game, and we joined an alliance that was called Mini Boone. They were like the sister alliance to Boone, but it was Boone in all lower cases, and he was in there. And we were rivals, actually, funny enough, with H&B at the time, because Boone and H&B have been like arch nemesis since the dawn of time. He's a new pickup. Chase is a new pickup. He has a 6 mil rider set. He's from OXO. Wolverine he started in Region 7. We picked him up when we went to Region 7. Cornet's from OXO. Ice Bear is a viewer from the stream. Either a viewer from the stream or from one of the events we played in. We recruited him like a month or two ago. Picked him up when we were in NBD. He's a viewer from the stream. We started in Region 23 together. She came from Pods. We merged with Pods back when we came to Region 164. Pods was a really strong alliance back in the day. We took half their members. She was from there. Shadowtech was an R5 in Region 23. He has a 5.5 mil leader Garrison set, or 5 mil leader Garrison set. We started in Region 23. Mo started in Region 23 together. Rip came from OXO. Dantas, we recruited him a while ago. Pukey, he started in Region 23 with us. Dottie, we picked her up, OXO recruit. He's an R4 from High Guys Alliance. He left a while ago. Wildcat came from Region 23. Don Leo came from Region 23. Pickup. This is Panda's alt account. Pickup. Recent pickup. And then, yeah, that's it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 6 mil alliance or armament sets in the alliance, and then mine's 7 mil, and then Greaves is almost 7 mil. So we have a pretty solid alliance, and for only having I think like 30 like 30 fighters, I think is what we register with. Our whole alliance itself should be T6 plus, or T6. I think we have a couple like last T5 troops that need to be researched, but the whole alliance itself should be T6, I think, at this point, is what we are. And that's FiB. Yeah. Been a long time coming though. Been R5 for a long time. Hansz is in our alliance, yeah, but he's just here for this event. We'll be doing it a lot more often though in the future. A lot of merges. Our alliance will be for full merging into H&B for the next Island Raid, Genesis War, and Archipelago Raid. Not this next Genesis War, but the 3 events after that one. The next set of them. But yeah, we're pretty much like we're an academy, or you can call it quote unquote like an academy alliance of theirs. By that, we're not actually an academy alliance, but we're like a smaller subset to them. But we're like a sister alliance to them almost. Yeah, we good friends with those guys. Why did Boone and H&B rivalry started? I always heard about it. Hansz, don't talk to small players like me. I tried, no hard feelings. He's awesome anyways. He'll talk to anyone actually. Like I'm sure if you approach him, he will. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, Aubrey. That's NomNom. I know for a fact like Hansz would talk to you if you reached out to Hansz. I don't know Hansz to not talk to anybody. Like, if anything, I think it was just the matchmaking really that started the rivalry. Like H&B was just a big alliance that was recruiting players from other regions, and now mind you, this was long before the cheap migration system was put into place, and so it was very expensive to get players to move there. So you had to be very appealing in order to get players to come. But yeah, no, H&B was the dominant force to fight against, and Boone was the same way. And in a lot of cases, for a long time, it was a coin flip where H&B would win one event, Boone would win the next one, H&B would win the next one. They'd go back and forth. That's how neck and neck they were. There were a lot of other sub-alliances that were fairly close in power. There was BTW, Doom, ANCS was a sister alliance to H&B. Trying to think, what are some of the other alliance names from back in the day? Anyways, yeah, like, they're just good times. What Gmap is good for free-to-play players? I would recommend like these like ladder ones, but there are some whales out here. So I wouldn't base the Gmap off of I wouldn't base your experience off the Gmap. What I would say is, like, if you're a low power player, like let's say you're like T3, T4, you probably won't have fun in anything above G40, right? Like, you want to stay beyond G40 to where the average player is probably going to be around your might. You're going to run into whales regardless, but at that point, like, find an alliance that's fun to be in, that you enjoy being in, but that matches in a G bracket that gives you a chance to actually enjoy the game. I miss Envy as well. Envy was a great guy also. Yeah, no, I don't mean it like in a sense of like hostility. They were just rivals back in the day is all I mean. Used to have a leadership team that was very hostile for sure. They power tripped for sure. I remember that big time. I remember the first island raid. I don't remember if they won the first one and then rode that high horse and then went into the second one and got humbled extremely bad. But I remember that the high horse that they lived on did not last very long at all. Go back up here. Where's my base? Where's my garrison? Sucks. Yeah, baby. Okay, come in, baby. Yeah, I said come in. You're fine. No, I'm still streaming, but you're good, baby. You can come in. I am streaming. No, I was just saying knock on the door if you needed something. That's all. Like if you needed me to get you more water or something. That's all. Yeah, that's all. I want to rally something. We got 12 minutes. We can go watch G1. But when we get back, I wanna lead rally something. Oh, I hear shit firing. I hear tanks. Non-stop. How about all you guys? Did you guys all win your guys' ARs? Did you guys lose? Was it boring? Was it eventful? Did you guys have good fights in the middle? How did everyone else's ARs turn out? And actually, let me ask you guys this: if you guys had to pick, right? I know that everybody wants Darkseal back, right? But between Genesis War, Island Raid, and Archipelago Raid, which event is your guys' current favorite event? And why, actually, and why? We were heli-padded the first day. IR, okay. Huh. Wow. GW because of the set time. I didn't see that one coming. I usually see people hate on GW because of the set time. Either one, because the set time doesn't work for them, or two, because it's only 1 hour of fighting. Okay. I see. I guess it depends, yeah, if you're someone that wants to be online all the time or someone that's just more likes to have like the confined. That makes sense. That I can get behind that. 1 vote each though. Okay. Okay. I can get it. AR rewards are good. Okay, yeah, yeah. ARs, babe. But I think if we all had to agree, would everybody here agree that they want Darkseal back? GW's 3 AM for you. Yeah, I think GW is like 6 AM for me, so I'm equally not as happy. AR, more people to rely on. That's how we feel. As a smaller registered alliance, AR is definitely our favorite one. Because, yeah, we have 30 people and we can dominate and it's fun, but numbers are numbers at the end of the day, and so having AR where you can have a lot of people to fill rallies and Garrison is nice. So that's okay. So this is an interesting one, right? Because I heard this a lot as well. Was that a lot of people? Well, the argument was that Genesis War got boring because people would just sit in Zone 2 and not fight in Zone 3. But then when that's in Darkseal. But then when Genesis War came out, correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of teams, like, if they don't get the strongest ally on the map, and maybe this is just how I've seen it, you can correct me if I'm wrong, or maybe you can tell me on your experience. But in my experience, if we go into a map and we're clearly the strongest alliance, if we don't ally a certain alliance that wanted to ally us, they won't leave their helipad. They just outright won't play. Or they will play, and it's a 90 minutes of fighting, they'll fight for the first like 10 or 15 minutes and then not fight after that. Or maybe they send 10 out of 40 of their people to actually like play the, like they half-ass it, you know what I mean? Picking a time slot for GW would be kind of cool. I think that'd be kind of cool to have some like sub brackets. But from like the argument that I had seen a lot, like because Genesis War replaced Darkseal, was that, oh, everybody sat out of Darkseal so it was boring. But then I feel like, myself at least, I got more consistent fights, and this is coming from someone that again was usually fighting in the upper brackets of Genesis or of Darkseal. I had seen a lot more fights more frequently in Darkseal than I did Genesis War. And Genesis War, again, like even with the 85% return, which was so crazy to me, 85% return on deaths, and it was only 90 minutes of fighting, and yet it was still the same thing. Like if your team didn't get the strongest ally, or if it was just clearly like a mismatch, they just wouldn't fight. But to me, it's like, even if it's a mismatch, if I'm getting 85% of my troops back and I'm only losing 1 for every 10, like, fuck it, I'm swinging, you know? Like if it's AR and you're getting only 60% return, that's one thing. Because then it's like, okay, I'm losing about half of my troops on deaths. Like that sucks. But if I'm only losing like 1 out of every 10 troops or 2, like, shoot. I wish they would put 85% in Archipelago raid. I do. I think that the thing with Archipelago raid is like there's something they need to correct. They either need to make the death return rate in Archipelago rate 85%, or they need to remove the 100% death rate on checkpoints. Checkpoints are far too important of a factor to the game mode itself. Like checkpoints are like the make or break for like a lot of game modes, or I'm sorry, for a lot of the games that you play in Archipelago raid on if a team's gonna win or not, is if a team can hold a checkpoint, or it comes down to like a team, you know, breaking a checkpoint or holding it or whatever have you, for like that's like where the game is called. Checkpoints are far too important for them to be 100% death rate. And you need to either eliminate the 100% death rate in Archipelago raid or up the death return rate overall in Archipelago raid if you want players to hold those checkpoints. Otherwise, there's no incentive to hold it. If I'm going to be holding a checkpoint and 100% of my troops are going to be dying, I'm not going to sit there and hold it for 2 hours long like I am a tower if only half of my troops are going to come back. That doesn't make any sense. Unless, of course, you're just somebody like Save Me with 50 million troops and you don't give a shit. Yeah, that is true, Navid or Navid. I can get behind that too. It is a bit too frequent to just go back to back to back like that. I would just do away with the Monopoly thing. Personally, I would do away with the Monopoly event, or incorporate the Monopoly event like an Alliance League type event. Or something that you can kind of just play passively without interrupting or interfering with KVK events, and then spread it out like 10 days apart for the 3 main events: Genesis War, Island Raid, and Archipelago Raid. Like if you're gonna have those 3 anyways, you might as well do it like that. Not make it to where like I go from Archipelago Raid, 2-day break, and then immediately into Genesis War, or Island Raid, 3-day break, immediately into Archipelago Raid. That doesn't make any sense to me. Just spread it out evenly, 10 days apart. Yeah, Save Me has 50 million troops. I don't think he's the strongest player, but he's also not far from it. His stuff is actually like really well honed, which is kind of like the one luck based system. Other than that, it's just you spend enough money and you have everything maxed. Gave us a farming event? I feel like half my teammates that I get in some of my Archipelago raids would be happy if they had that. What do you think of a war event on a different island, but as region versus region? That's what I was expecting. From the games that I've played and come from, that's what KVK events were. You invaded other regions as the KVK event. You didn't just go to like other maps like this. Like there are games like that, and that seems to be kind of like a modern thing. But for example, the very first game I played like this was Mobile Strike, and that was 10 years ago. And yeah, the KVK event in that game was you invaded other regions when that time came. And then it was the same thing actually as Darksteel, where you actually had to like capture their main metro as like the primary objective. Insane troops. You can hold a tower for yeah, pretty much. Garfield. Dang, we got some strong players on our Legion. Guess I didn't really realize that. Who's the strongest in the game? One guy, I always thought it was Pooh. I wouldn't be able to pick one because I think it's two of them. I think it's Coco Bongo or Toto. I think that they're equally matched. Toto from SSI, Coco Bongo from NM49, who merges into UOD. I think that they're equally matched. Toto and Coco Bongo. I think they're the two strongest players. Yeah, we're here. Save me as a prick, but he is strongest. He has a lot of might, that's for sure. He is strong. Oh yeah, Sack is also one of them. Does anyone have a maxed out device yet? I know that Save Me was close at one point. the last time I looked at it. By maxed, I mean 2 squad damage, 2 squad damage reductions, all red, and the rare hone. I know that Coco had one, or not Coco, but Save Me had one that had 2 of them were red and 2 of them were gold. And then the rare hone. But the device should cap out, I think, at like 1.1 mil is the max power for a device.
Someone is still listening.
I know that Save Me had one that was pretty close at the last time I saw it. I'm just trying to wait for one player to actually have one of those maxed out. Be kind of cool to see. Oh, we're rallying. I didn't even notice. Zoinks, Scooby, that one hurts. Three mil beast damage in a minute. Okay, good to know. Yeah, SSI is definitely the strongest. Hansz had 9 mil and 11 minutes. We'll change that one day, man. Don't worry. I've broken the game, man. Hansz had 9 mil beast damage in 11 minutes. Yeah, I know. I know they do. It's kind of crazy. What's up, Ting Fung? How you doing? Why is his... I thought his beast would do more damage, though. What am I missing? 114, 5202. $422.10. Huh, interesting. I am the Hansz now. Beasts and troop type don't have any correlation at all. Beasts for field fighting though, use anything with combo or crit. Combo or crit procs. Especially on your supports. When the active skill deals a combo crit, that kind of a thing. Use combo crits in the field. Counter is good for garrisons. But combo crit on rally or fields. Awesome content. Could you clarify what equipment parts should be upgraded first? I'm a range ally focusing on damage. Sure. If you are just specifically ranged only, get the skill damage one, because ranged benefits super highly from skilled. Even with like Ethan, Bard, Julia, Louis, they all benefit highly from skill. Get the rope up to white, and then from there, if you find yourself being a second and third rally quite frequently, meaning like an AR and stuff, then go attack first. But in Island Raid and in Genesis War, if you are the primary rally for your alliance, meaning that you are going to be tanking the damage from the garrison, in situations, you're just going to be, going with a Julia, Bard, or whatever have you, and you're going to be face tanking the garrison itself. Opt out of the attack here because you can get a lot of attack from your armaments, from your heroes, from your garage and stuff like that, and grab the HP ones instead. Get your survivability up first, because you can't get HP as armament hone rolls. You can't get HP in garages. You can't get HP anywhere else. Get the HP equipment parts and get the skill damage, and then after you get the HP, double back and get the attack one, step the damage even more, and close out with the defense. This counter from beasts and counter we get on basic attack from squads the same thing? No, but they operate the same way. Beasts don't fight in the same sequence that you do, so you're attacking and taking damage from someone every second with your troops. Your beasts, however, fight every 3 and 6 seconds. Your leader skills hit every 6 seconds. Your active skills every 3 seconds, with the exception of if you trigger a combo or counterattack, they'll be used a second time, third time, whatever. So yeah, counter-wise, what it is that if you are fighting somebody, and I can show you probably from this last report here, if I go to, say, 6 seconds in this, you'll see that my beast launched his main leader skill. Holy cow, it crit for 120,000. Holy fuck. Okay, I love this thing. Yeah, it used its leader skill, and then it dealt damage. Then it used its secondary skill, its active skill, which is every 3 seconds, dealt damage. And then he used his leader skill, every 6 seconds. And then mine triggered a counterattack. Now, your counterattack itself is triggered based off of your counterattack proc rate, which is this stat here. And you get that stat from things like passively in here. So right here, when this attack deals a critical hit, gain counter plus 60. That'll raise this number while you're in combat. Also here, when Garrison crit plus 120, counter plus 50. That'll also raise that number. You can also get it from potential. So in here, you can get like right here, counter, that kind of thing, you know. But as you raise that stat, the higher that you raised it, the higher the percentage is. So I have a 44% chance to crit, 41% chance to counter. And then what happened was that he used his active skill, and then immediately after triggered a counterattack which used my active skill. So when you use a counter or a combo, it uses your active skill, your skill that's used every 3 seconds. It uses it automatically, and it dealt damage again. Yes, counter is triggered in response to their use of their leader skill or their active skill every 3 seconds. Which I think is probably on this one. I don't see it. Anyways. Yep, so leader skill, that one. And then he used his active skill, and then I used the counterattack. So yeah, counterattacks are used in answer to their leader or their active skill. What about the backpack squad damage percentage boost instead of the attack? So the thing is that would do well. However, squad damage percentage is pretty much the same thing as attack. The difference is that the attack starts at the beginning of the equation. So if the total damage you deal to somebody, so like when you're fighting someone, right? So let me go here. Let me just give you an example. If I go to G1, right? See all these white numbers that are popping up? That is like the equals. Like that is the final result of a math equation. It's that he attacked him, right? Like these two troops are fighting, and when he fought him, a math equation happens, and at the end of the equation, that white number pops up. Like that's the result, right? Attack happens at the beginning of the equation. Squad damage percentage is a multiplier at the end of the equation. Squad damage is very important, yes. However, because it's squad damage and not ranged squad damage like you might see on your armaments, it impacts all of your squads. And because of that, it's far more expensive to raise. So you can see like this red part here, it's just, or this gold part, 28, 42, 42, while over here it's 14, 21, 21. So it's just far more expensive to raise up because, you know, it increases the damage of all of your troops. So yes, you can get a little bit more damage out of it because it's the multiplier, but it's not going to be a drastic difference, especially for the price that you have to pay for it. I would rather take two golds going red than, or 2 attacks going red from gold than 1 gold squad damage going red here, because you're isolating the bonus to your ranged and you're going to get more out of it. This is just more expensive again because it's impacting all of your squads. That's why it's so beneficial and so expensive at the same time. Yep, no worries at all. Yeah, if you were focused just on one troop type, I would invest heavily in it. The only exception I would make to that, because you are ranged, is the skill damage one. If you had told me that you are an infantry rally player, I wouldn't tell you to get the skill damage, because infantry doesn't have high attack, base attack like range does, so it doesn't benefit from it as much. So if we were to go here, for example, and take a look at the infantry. So infantry base attack is 208, while ranged base attack is 254, so it's 20% higher than infantry. So that skill damage that you're going to get is going to scale a lot harder, because again, skill damage is towards the end of the equation. So attack is at the beginning, skill damage, squad damage, all that stuff is at the end as a multiplier. So for range, because your base attack is so much higher, that bonus skill damage is going to help you deal a lot more damage. But for an infantry rally player or whatever have you, that skill damage is going to mean a lot less, because they have a lot less base attack. And so in that case, I would just full focus on infantry, or maybe get the squad damage reduction if you also play Garrison. Does Beast Counter has a timer like we have for active or leader skill, considering? No. There's no timer on it. You just... Wait a minute. What happened here? Oh. They're not even really competing for it. No, there's no timer on it. Let me see if I can find a... I want that march in particular, but I want... This might work. No. I need one that has a lot of them. Yeah, this might work. So let's take a look. So 3 seconds. 6 seconds. Counterattack. Counterattack, see? 6 seconds also in. 6 seconds in on the second march. So first march here. Combat log. 6 seconds. Hammer Pangolin launched a counterattack. Scroll down to the second march. Combat log. 6 seconds as well. Triggered a counterattack. Go down here to the third march. "12 seconds it did a counterattack. But yeah, you can see on that one, like the 6 seconds, for example, it double triggered a counterattack. It's gonna be hard to like go through because it's only like a 40% proc rate. Let's go to like 6 seconds on this one, maybe. I was trying to find one where I got attacked by lots so I can go to the same 6 second one. And see if I can find where it did it a bunch. We already found it where it did it once. Wish I had higher than a 40% counterattack rate though. one actually penetrated your shield right there. That's crazy. But anyways, yeah, like I'm gonna have to like sort through. Like I'd have to like sit through and parse through like 12 seconds and stuff. But yeah, you could see like on that first one, like it did it to 2 marches in the same second, basically. You kind of get the point. No, there isn't a cooldown on it. If I could find one with like even more marches, I could probably show it even like better. But I didn't do much field fighting today. I was busy. It's not enough. Counterattack at 6 there. Counterattack at 6 there as well. Counterattack at 6 right there as well. So that there, so there's one. There's a good one. Like that's 3 in a row. So first march right, combat log, 6 seconds. Pangolin trigger to counterattack, right there. Then we go down to the second march. Go down to the same 6 seconds. Hammer Pangolin trigger to counterattack. Let's go down to the same 6 seconds in the third march. Hammer Pangolin trigger to counterattack. So no, there isn't a cooldown on the counterattack side of things, no. Oh, these poor guys, man. These poor guys. I think things are starting to wind down, fam. Which enemy hero frustrates me the most, and why is it Felix? And why is it Felix? Felix is annoying, yeah. But no. I see what you mean. Yeah, Felix is annoying. That's funny. I don't know, genuinely now, I would probably have to say Ethan. Ethan, because he does so much AoE damage and can be used on rallies. If he was strictly a Garrison hero and he just ripped, you know, marches and rallies apart with his AoE around the tower, that would be one thing. But when he can be used in a rally, and now that rally is ripping apart field marches and supporting marches and reinforcing marches to the tower and stuff with his same AoE, but on our territory by our tower, simply because he has double AoE and he also has Bard, so triple AoE, that's annoying. That's annoying for sure. You're not going to have counterattack happen at seconds 7 and 8. That's the whole point. So the reason why it won't happen at seconds 7 and 8 is because it all happens in 1 second within one report, right? So beasts attack every 3 seconds and every 6 seconds. Their active skills trigger every 3 seconds, so 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, whatever. And then their leader skills trigger every 6 seconds, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. So if you're going to look for when the counterattacks happen, it's going to be at those increments. You're not going to see counterattacks happen at 7 seconds, 8 seconds, 9 seconds, whatever have you. Beasts don't attack every second. The only beasts that attack every second is corrosion damage. So if you get inflicted with corrosion damage, then it will deal damage to you every second. But if you go and read the counter side of things, it says it here: counter damage and indirect damage cannot trigger counterattacks. So if somebody counterattacks you, you can't trigger a counterattack to that. And then indirect damage. So, yeah, like corrosion and stuff. It won't cause a counterattack basically to proc. See, so unless otherwise specified, all damage caused by active skills and leader skills is considered direct damage, and direct damage is what triggers counterattacks. Indirect damage include follow-up damage, residual damage, and status damage. So a counterattack is follow-up damage, residual damage, and status damage. None of those can trigger a counterattack. So if you're fighting somebody and then a second march hits you in second 2, right? So I'm fighting you. We go 1 second into the fight. 1 second into the fight, you send a second march that starts hitting me. And so technically speaking, 8 seconds in, your march is going to trigger an active skill. Is that what you're saying? Technically, I'm in combat for 8 seconds. You're going to trigger a skill 6 seconds in, but it's going to be 8 seconds in for me. That's what you're saying, right? So even though it operates like that, it doesn't operate like that either. It's per march. So let me show you something. I see what you're saying. I know what you're talking about, but it doesn't work like that, but it does at the same time. Yes, it's going to work, but it's going to work not because of the reason that you think it is. So when you look at this one, right? Or when we were like looking at these reports to look at the counter damage or whatever have you of the beasts, where these lines start, that is when the actual fighting happens. So this whole combat lasted from 56:13 to 56:54, right? So a total of 41 seconds. Within those 41 seconds, I started combat with him here. I started combat with this march here, with this march here, with this march here, with this march here, with this march here. However, if you were to go into here, and if I was to go to this second march and click combat log, it would start at 1 second in that combat log. And then I would go to 6 seconds into that combat log to see when the counter happened. Or I would go to this one, and then if I wanted to see the counter damage on it, I would go down to 6 seconds in on this one to then see it here. So per march, it's going to be every 6 seconds, 3 seconds. It's 3 seconds or 6 seconds of engagement with each march, and it'll still trigger. Even though the combat is out of sync with the other ones, that part doesn't matter. So like this one, for example, right? It's completely out of sync because I didn't start these fights at the same time. But I go here, I click on combat log, I go to 6 seconds in, and I can see that, hey, my hammer triggered a counterattack, see? Does that make sense? So it might be 14 seconds of the combat, 17 seconds of the combat, whatever, but it's 6 seconds into the combat with this troop. Because 6 seconds into combat with this troop, his beast used a skill, and I triggered a counter. So to your degree, yes, it is like you said. It happened 8 seconds in, 9 seconds in, whatever have you. But it's with the interaction with each individual march. So it logs differently. If it had all the marches on one log, like if I click combat log and I could see the combat that was happening with like 3 or 4 different marches, then yes, it would appear like you said, some of them at 17, 18 seconds, whatever have you. But because it splits up the combat report to each individual march that you're fighting into their own, it won't ever look like that. Alright. It's winding down. I think AR is pretty much like all but done for most of the brackets. There's nothing much else for us to do either. Ours has been pretty much over since like an hour in, and we're 6 hours into it. Yeah, this is pretty much it. Like, even in G1, are they... Yeah, they're fighting, but they're like way up here now. So, I think I'm going to call it there, guys. If anything else happens, I'll let y'all know, but this AR has been done. So, probably see you guys in the Genesis War. But appreciate y'all being here. Hope y'all have a good night. Have a good weekend. Check G6 one more time? Yeah, sure. Why not? Absolutely. G6. Let's take a look. Panda. What is Panda up to? Panda fighting over here again. Panda's been in a back and forth tug of war with like Sloth over here for the last week. TPL pushed Crimson back easily from what I heard. But yep. Alright, fam. Y'all have a good one. See you all in the next one. Panda is gay. 100%.